Good afternoon everybody. Today we are going to learn a very interesting lesson. The name of our lesson is The Thief Story by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is one of the famous author. He has won the Sahitya Academy Award. Also Indian government has honored him with the awards such as Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan. This story is related with the two central characters. The name of one character is Anil and the name of second character is Hari Singh. Anil is maximum 25 years old person and Hari Singh is maybe 15 years old person. Anil is a writer. By profession Anil is a writer and Hari Singh is a thief. One day Anil went to watch a wrestling match. There he met with the Hari Singh. Hari Singh was very fluttery person. He comes near to Anil and asks him that did he want a servant and can he feed him. Anil said that he did not feed him, but if he can cook for him, then he can give him some food to eat. So Hari Singh said that yeah, he can cook the food. So Anil took him at his house. His house is near the sweet supermarket. Okay. So there both of them went there. First day Anil told Hari Singh to cook the food. Hari Singh did not know how to cook the food. So he cooked the food very badly. Anil threw that food to the dog and he again prepared the food for himself and Hari Singh. And Anil told Hari Singh that he would teach him how to cook the food. So Anil taught Hari Singh how to cook the food as well as how to write his name, and also he said that in future he will teach him how to read and write and how to count. Means Anil want to literate the Hari Singh. Anil gave Hari Singh the job, that is to cook the food and also to buy the grocery from the market. Hari Singh is a thief by profession. He wants to take a theft in the Anil's house. So he wants to take a chance. Anil gave him some money to buy some grocery. So there Hari Singh saved 1 rupee per day. Anil knows this fact, but he did not say him anything because Anil was a good person and he wants to improve the Hari Singh's behavior. As the days pass, one day Anil got a check. I already told you that Anil was a writer by profession. So his book was sold in the market and he got a check. So he got that money and put that money in under his pillow and he slept down there. After sleeping, Hari Singh knows that Anil has put the money under the pillow. By profession he was a thief. So in his mind the thoughts come how to steal that money. So after some time he also slept and he thinks that to steal that money, and he get a chance and he stole that money and went running very fast to the nearby railway station, and there he want to catch the train. He take the train and the train was about to leave, but Hari Singh stopped and he went out from the train. Again thoughts come in his mind that Anil was very honest and nice person, a good gentleman, and why I am going to rob that person. So he comes again Anil's house, he returns again Anil's house and he put that money and again the position where it was first. And in the morning Anil wake up. He saw that the notes were very wet. So he knows that Hari Singh stole that money that night, but he did not say him anything. So this is the story of Anil and Hari Singh. The moral of the story is that Anil wants to improve the behavior of Hari Singh. He knows that he was a thief by profession, but still he did not say him anything. Anil was a gentleman. By imitating his behavior, we may also give a chance to those thieves who wants to improve their behavior. This is our story. So students, open your textbook and we are going to learn the story line by line. Let us start our story. Open your textbook, page number 8. The Thief Story. The title of our story is The Thief Story. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. This story is told to us by Hari Singh. Hari Singh was the narrator of this story. He told his self-experience to us. What he says that I was a thief when I met Anil. When Hari Singh met Anil, he was a thief. And though only 15, and what is his age? His age was only 15 years old, and he was fairly a good thief. Anil was watching a wrestling match, and when I approached him, he was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, simple enough for my purpose. Here, the physical appearance of the Anil has been given to us. The age of Anil is 25 years old. He was a very tall person and a lean fellow. He looked very easygoing, kind and simple enough. Means Anil was very simple fellow. The age of Anil is 25. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. Means here Hari Singh thought that he wants to win the confidence of Anil. So he came near him. You look bit of a wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. Here Hari Singh flatters Anil to become a friend with Anil. So do you? He replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. What's your name? Hari Singh. Here there is a conversation going on between the Anil and Hari Singh. The introduction. Anil asked Hari Singh, what is your name? Then Hari Singh told him that his name was Hari Singh. I lied. I took a new name every month. Here Hari Singh says that he took a new name every month means he did not told him his original name. They changed the voice of this sentence is I took a new name every month. A new name was taken every month by me. And question tag, I took a new name every month, didn't I? And also the tense of this sentence is simple past tense. Understand, boys and girls? Write down this in your textbook. That kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. The reason is given here. Why Hari Singh did not told his real name? Because he wants to live away from the police and his former employers. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestler who were grunting, lifting, throwing each other about. I did not have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Here there is a conversation developed between the Anil and Hari Singh, and Anil went from there and Hari Singh followed him. I gave him my most appealing smile. Change the voice of this sentence. A most appealing smile was given to him by me. I want here in this sentence the two objects were given, direct objects and indirect object. I have taken already these types of sentence in the chapter change the voice. Okay. I want to work for you, I said. What Hari Singh said to Anil, that Hari Singh said that he wanted to work for him. The indirect speech of the above sentence is I said that I wanted to work for you. This is the indirect speech of the above sentence. But I can't pay you. What Anil says, that he did not able to pay Hari Singh because he did not have such money to pay Anil. I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged by man. And Hari Singh thinks that he misjudged the person. Anil was a very poor man. I asked, can you feed me? Then Hari Singh asked Anil, can you feed me? The indirect speech of the above sentence, I asked if he could feed me. Okay. Can you cook? I again asked. Anil asked to Hari Singh if he could cook. If he could cook. Okay. I can cook. I lied again. Again Hari Singh said to Anil that he can cook. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. Then Anil replied to Hari Singh that if he can cook the food, then he can give him food and he can give him a place to live in his house. He took me to his room over the Jamuna sweet shop. Means the room of Anil is near the Jamuna shop. He took me to his room over the Jamuna shop. I was taken to his room over the Jamuna shop by him. This is the change the voice of the above sentence. Understand, students? I again repeat the answer. He took me to his room over the Jamuna sweet shop. This is your sentence. The change the voice of this part is, I was taken over the Jamuna sweet shop by him. Told me I could sleep on the balcony. Anil told Hari Singh that he could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible. And Hari Singh did not cook the proper food. And he cooked very terrible food that night for Anil. And gave it but the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. And Anil told Hari Singh that there is no need to cook the food and he will cook the food for both of them. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way, and he could not help laughing. Later he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me to cook. Afterwards, Anil told Hari Singh that he would able to teach him. Means he can teach Hari Singh how to cook the food. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write the whole sentence and to add numbers. Anil told Hari Singh that he would teach him how to write his name and also in future he would teach him how to write his name and also he would soon teach him how to write the whole sentences, how to read the sentences and how to count the numbers. Here Anil wants to make Hari Singh literate fellow. And there is a kind wish of Anil about the Hari Singh that Hari Singh should be a literate educated fellow. I could write like an educated man. There I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. And Hari Singh knows that if he can write and read, then he could rob the persons very betterly. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. This is the experience of the Hari Singh and he is going to speak with us. What he says that it is the very nice experience work with Anil. I made the tea in the morning. What Hari Singh said that he made the tea in the morning. They change the voice of the above sentence. I made the tea in the morning. The tea was made in the morning by me. Then would take my time buying the day's supplies. And other works Hari Singh does for Anil that he buy the daily needs things, making a profit of about ₹1 a day. And by buying the things, that is the grocery items, Hari Singh makes a profit ₹1 per day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. And Hari Singh told us that I know Anil knows this, but he did not say anything to Hari Singh. Money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Anil made money by fits and starts. How Anil makes the money means what is the Anil's way to live the life. He would borrow 1 week. How he earned the money? He would borrow money from one of his friend and lend that money next week when he get the money. He kept worrying about his next check. One day, Anil was worrying. Why he was worrying? Because there is no money for himself, so he was worrying. But as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. And Anil get his check and he went to make celebration with his friend. So he went to make a party with his friend. It seems he wrote for magazines. And Hari Singh told us that Anil was a writer and he writes for the magazines. A clever way to make a living. One evening he came home with a small bundle of notes. And again Hari Singh told that Anil came one day at home and he has some money in his hand, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattresses, and Anil put that money under the mattresses and slept down. So students, now I am going to tell you the meaning of this whole part of the story in the Marathi. Here, बघा विद्यार्थ्यांनो, आपल्या स्टोरीचं नाव काय आहे? द स्टोरी ऑफ द थीफ. या स्टोरीमध्ये आपले दोन सेंट्रल कॅरेक्टर आहे, अनिल आणि हरी सिंग. अनिल एक 25 वर्षाचा तरुण आहे. व्यवसायाने अनिल कोण आहे? एक रायटर आहे, एक लेखक आहे. आता अनिलचं पैसे कमवण्याचा मार्ग काय? तो ज्यावेळेस पुस्तकं लिहितो, त्याची पुस्तकं पब्लिश झाल्यानंतर त्याला पब्लिशर काय करत असतात? पैसे देत असतात. म्हणजे एक आठवड्याला त्याच्याकडे पैसे असतात तर दुसऱ्या आठवड्याला तो मित्राकडून उधार उसनवारी करतो आणि नंतर पैसे आल्यानंतर ते पैसे परत करत असतो. अशा प्रकारे अनिल आपले जीवन जगत असतो. एके दिवशी अनिल रेसलिंग मॅच बघायला जातो. त्या ठिकाणी त्याची भेट हरी सिंगशी होते. अनिलला हरी सिंग स्वतःहून अनिलशी बोलायला येतो आणि तो त्याची स्तुती करतो की जेणेकरून अनिलला हरी सिंगला काही जॉब मिळेल किंवा काही काम मिळेल. आणि मग तो डायरेक्टली हरी सिंग अनिलला काय विचारतो बघा की मला तू काही जॉब देऊ शकणार का? अनिल काय सांगतो हरी सिंगला की नाही, मी तुला जॉब नाही देऊ शकत. मग हरी सिंग त्याला विचारतो की मग तू मला खाऊ घालू शकतो का? मग अनिल त्याच्या पुढे एक अट ठेवतो की तू माझ्यासाठी स्वयंपाक कर, मग आपण दोघं मिळून जेवण करूया किंवा मी मग तुला जेवायला देऊ शकतो, तुला मी तुझं भरण पोषण करू शकतो. अशा प्रकारे बघा अनिल आणि हरी सिंगची भेट होते आणि अनिल काय करतो? हरी सिंगला घरी घेऊन येतो. आता हरी सिंग हा एक 15 वर्षाचा मुलगा आहे. हरी सिंग हा व्यवसायाने काय आहे? एक चोर आहे आणि तो विशेषतः प्रवीण असा चोर आहे, तरबेज असा चोर आहे. आता या ठिकाणी त्याचा अनिलकडे येण्यामागचा उद्देश म्हणजे संधी मिळाली की चोरी करायची आणि त्या ठिकाणाहून फरार व्हायचं किंवा पळून जायचं असा त्याचा उद्देश असतो. मग अशा प्रकारे हरी सिंगची एंट्री होते अनिलच्या घरी. आता हरी सिंग हे नाव पण खोटंच असतं, कारण हरी सिंगला माहिती असतं की जर आपण खरं नाव लोकांना सांगितलं तर पोलीस आपल्याला पकडू शकतात. अशा प्रकारे मग अनिल आपल्या सोबत हरी सिंगला घेऊन येतो. घरी आल्यानंतर मग अनिल काय करतो? हरी सिंगला स्वयंपाक बनवायला लावतो. आता हरी सिंगला काही स्वयंपाक बनवता येत नसतो. मग तो खोटंच बोलत असतो की मला स्वयंपाक करता येतो आणि त्यामुळे त्याने जो स्वयंपाक बनवलेला असतो तो अतिशय वाईट असतो आणि तो वाईट झालेला स्वयंपाक मग अनिल काय करतो? कुत्र्यांना टाकून देतो आणि तो स्वतः स्वयंपाक बनवतो. या ठिकाणी अनिल हरी सिंगवर अजिबात चिडत नाही, त्याला रागवत पण नाही आणि त्याला तिथून जायला पण सांगत नाही. उलट त्याला काय सांगतो की मी तुला उद्यापासून स्वयंपाक कसा करायचा ते शिकवणार. मग अनिल त्याला काय करतो? चहा बनवायला शिकवतो आणि काही पैसे देत असतो की जेणेकरून घरातील ज्या काही वस्तू आहेत, किराणा सामानाच्या ज्या काही वस्तू आहेत तो मार्केटमध्ये जाऊन घेऊन येईल. अशा प्रकारे अनिल आणि हरी सिंग यांचं रुटीन किंवा लाईफ सेट होत असतं. मग अनिल काय करतो? हरी सिंगला काही पैसे देतो आणि किराणा सामान आणायला लावत असतो. आता हरी सिंग हा व्यवसायाने एक चोरच आहे. मग त्याच्या मनात पैसे चोरण्याची लालसा येणारच. मग तो काय करतो? मार्केटमध्ये गेल्यानंतर जेवढे पैसे लागतील तेवढा किराणा घेतो आणि उरलेले पैसे अनिलला परत न देता पर डे त्याच्याकडे 1 रुपया ठेवत असतो. आता ही गोष्ट अनिलच्या लक्षात येते, परंतु अनिल त्याला काहीही बोलत नाही. बघा मग पुढे काय होतं? एके दिवशी काय होतं? अनिलला एक चेक मिळतो. आता चेक मिळाल्यानंतर तो पैसे बँकेत कॅश करतो आणि पैसे घरी घेऊन येतो. पैसे घेऊन आल्यानंतर तो काय करतो? पैसे आपल्या उशीच्या खाली ठेवतो आणि झोपून जातो. अशा प्रकारे विद्यार्थ्यांनो आज आपण एवढा पाठ शिकलेलो आहे. द नेम ऑफ अवर स्टोरी इज द थीफ स्टोरी. आता पुढचा पाठ बघायला आपण पुढच्या लेक्चरला भेटूया. तोपर्यंत टेक केअर अँड गुड बाय.